So, hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas. I sure did. Or will have, because as you can tell from my outfit, this is the same day I recorded last week's episode. Why am I doing this? Well, as this is going up, I'm getting off a train in Florida and going to Disney World. Joe, as you know, it's an annual thing I do. Go get some sun while it's freezing up in Jersey and get some souvenirs. But the train travel had me thinking a bit. A lot of what sports have gone through was because of traveling. Think back to the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. Where sports teams were located on correlated to how far you could get in a single day by train. Remember, there were no airplanes through that time. Cars were still rudimentary in comparison to today. The furthest you could get to was St. Louis and Chicago. You could have gone to Florida, but at the time there were very few, if any, sports teams down to the south. They were all in the Northeast or the Midwest. In the 50s, finally, with air travel, teams started to go out places. The Brooklyn Dodgers went out to Los Angeles. And because they needed a second team to go with them, because no way is a team from the East going to go to Los Angeles just to play 3 games and then fly back, they roped the Giants in with them, and thus became the LA Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants. And now with improved travel, you see teams starting to spread their wings further. Think the NFL and London, along with MLB and their every few year games in places like Japan or Puerto Rico. You also see certain locations be appealing to certain players. The Shohei Ohtani signings, everyone thought the Yankees would dominate the proceedings. And then as it turns out, what he wants is a team close to the West Coast, i.e. close to his native Japan. And thus the Angels managed to swoop in and get him. You have other preferences too, like how the Chicago Cubs and other teams in that Midwest area fly fewer than 24,000 miles each year comparatively to their East or West Coast brethren. And that has an effect on players. Jet lag is a thing. Now imagine if the NFL opens up a franchise in London, or if MLB establishes franchises in East Asian countries. Imagine the jet lag in that. That may be one of the few reasons to not have franchises out there that far. Although for the MLB, maybe the presence of an already established league might also help. But expansion is a thing. If there's money to be had, you'll be sure a franchise is going to be there. You'll see probably in the next 10 years that London does become a thing for the NFL. Whether it becomes the dominant football in England and Europe remains to be seen. You see baseball, once they resolve a couple of existing stadium issues in Oakland, Tampa Bay, and perhaps Phoenix, see maybe Mexico, Montreal, the Carolinas maybe have sports teams. And you'll be sure in the new year, whatever happens, wherever it happens, you and I will be covering it, Joe. This is the end of 2017 for me. All in all, a good year, especially in sports. I will see you in 2018, guys.